Hello YouTube, I am back, just like I said I would. So yeah, in my last video I mentioned I wanted to talk about some K-pop albums, and I'm kind of excited about that because I've kind of been putting off listening to them for the sake of talking about them in a video. This video, right now, I want to talk about 17's new mini album, their 10th mini album, FML. Yeah, so yeah, firstly, the fact that it's called FML to me is kind of funny in a way, but you know, like in a Gen Z kind of we're all a bit depressed way, because you know that's a phrase I've said many times in my life. You know, we all know what it means. It's like, you know, showing that you're exasperated or frustrated or annoyed at something. So like, yeah, you get points for that. 17. You've instantly kind of brought in the Gen Z audience for this album. So yeah, there's 6 tracks on this mini album, and essentially what I'm gonna do is just I've listened to them all beforehand, and I've made some notes, like sort of feelings around the songs, and I'll just talk about each individually, and I'll give like an overall rating of the album. So yeah. So the first track on the album is FML. And yeah, I was really surprised when I listened to this song. It's very mature and very honest and quite sad lyrically. You know, there's mention of I lost my way, I've lost my aim, which is really sad. Like, it's a very introspective song. It's about like kind of analysing your own thoughts and feelings, and kind of trying to establish who you are and where you want to be. So yeah, I really like that. It's very, very mature, very honest as a song. I like that it's got like a hip-hop vibe to it, and the sort of high-pitched kind of vocal snippet going on throughout the song, like in the intro, and then it kind of ebbs out and then comes back at the end. I really like that. It kind of captures attention. So like, yeah, I really like the way this sounds, the way it's been produced. Yeah, I do like the song. It's a good start to the album. So yeah. So the next song is Super, and this is a song I've heard a lot on TikTok. I've been trying to avoid it because obviously I wanted to make this video, but yeah, it's a very different vibe to FML. I love how dynamic it sounds. The tempo changes a lot throughout, so it's constantly kind of engaging you. You know, there's a hip-hop vibe to it, there's a dance vibe to it, and almost like a Afro beat going on, if I'm correct. So yeah, there's an awful lot going on, and that drum beat is almost hypnotic. I love the way it sounds. You know, it seems to be a song about like celebrating who they are as a group, you know, how far they've come. You know, they're very determined and passionate in this song. For example, a lyric says, "Faced everything, like I'm so proud I always win." So yeah, about, you know, we're talking about their success, how much they've achieved as a group, and they've achieved a lot. So yeah, good on them. Yeah, I really like this song. It definitely kind of has the vibe a lot of kind of big 17 songs have. You know, it's very, very impactful, very, you know, there's a lot going on. So yeah, I really like this. This is the sort of thing I really liked. Yeah. So the next song on the album is Fire, and is it fire? I don't think it is, no, if I'm being honest. You know, it's interesting, like the disparity between like Western hip-hop music and Korean. Like, there tends to be a lot more kind of going on in the production in Western music, whereas in Korean hip-hop, particularly in this song, it's kind of, there's not much going on. There's a strong percussion influence though, you know, there's that sort of triangle that comes in and out a lot. You know, the song is very typical kind of rap song in that they're kind of just flexing, you know, we're touring domes now, we are a masterpiece, and fair enough, go off, you know, they are very successful, so yeah, good on them. Yeah, like lyrically it's not that impressive, there's not really much going on. But I do like the way Vernon sounds in this track. He always sounds like he's got a bone to pick with someone when he raps, which is fun, I suppose. But yeah, it's out of all the songs so far, this is kind of the weakest, I would say. So the next song is I Don't Understand But I Love You, and this has quite a strong R&B vibe to it. I really like the guitar and the finger clicking that goes on throughout. You know, I really like the vocals on this track. They really stand out, and there are many amazing vocalists in 17, and they really shine in this song. Based on the lyrics, or the translated lyrics, it seems like it's, you know, about like I suppose it could be about like having feelings for someone but not being able to openly communicate because of a language barrier, or it could be more of a message for, like, you know, 17's fans, you know, because they have a lot of international fans, you know, and there's a language barrier there, but they're like, I still love you even though I can't communicate it with you. You know, and I suppose everyone understands what love means, or at least everyone should. So yeah, it's a heartfelt song. It does seem like it's aimed at the fandom, which is really nice. Yeah, it's a pleasant song. I do enjoy it. So next up is Dust, and the second I heard the song, I was like, this has got quite a strong 80s vibe to it. You know, the synth going on. The drum beat is also quite reminiscent of 80s music, I think. General vibe of the song is quite heartwarming. It seems, based on the lyrics, that it's kind of like about reminiscing about a past love, you know, and wanting what they no longer have, you know. For example, the memories along the flower road, they returned back like dust, and I still say I love you. So it's quite a sad song. Yeah, I like the authentic sound to it. It's a really good song. I really like Dust. So the last song on the album is April Shower, and I really like the way this sounds. That's kind of a common theme throughout when listening to this album. Like, it's just produced very well. Woozi is a very good producer, and he definitely shines on this album. It's this song is very radio friendly. I really like this kind of funky beat, the stuttering synth, the da 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 da. I like that sort of sound. It really grabs your attention. You know, in terms of like the message of the song, it seems to be kind of about like letting something bloom naturally. You know, there's a lot of talk of, like, obviously it's called April Shower, you know, about the weather, you know, things that are natural, talk of flowers and letting things bloom like flowers. I imagine it's all about like a relationship, kind of just letting go of intuitions and letting it, you know, letting things develop naturally. You know, what will be, so to speak, I think. And yeah, I like the song. It has a nice vibe to it. It's again heartwarming, a lot like Dust, I think. And yeah, it's another track I really like. Yeah, that wraps up all the songs. I did like all of them, if I'm being honest, but I would say Fire is probably like my least favourite. And then FML's on top, then Super. Then I would probably put April Shower, I Understand But I Love You, and Dust. What I will say is, I mentioned, you know, the fact that it's called FML, and I think it's kind of been named that to kind of reflect the mood of the album, and it definitely gives off that vibe. There's, you know, a lot of themes of like being kind of frustrated about oneself and about, you know, the world. You know, it's a very mature sounding album. It's really, you know, I've listened to a lot of 17's music, but like not when it came out. Like, I've only really got into K-pop last year, so it's not like I've had a lot of time to kind of process their songs and like the period of time in which they released the songs. And to me, this album does kind of feel like it's coming to an end. Which would make sense, you know, because the Eldest members have to enlist in the military, I believe, this year. So yeah, 17 is not going to be the same for a long time, which is really sad. But yeah, you know, this album is just kind of like an ode to like them as a group, how talented they are. Like, they all shine on this album. It's a shame it does feel very, I mean, it is only a mini album, but it does feel very short because that's what it is. But yeah, like, I would probably give it like maybe a 4 out of 5 based on like individual ratings, and then an overall rating I would say is a 4 out of 5. It's a really, really solid album, and I'm just really, really impressed with 17. They are great. They are a great K-pop group. They work really hard. They're very determined in what they do, and you know, and like the fact that they do swear a bit on this album as well. You know, because Korea, from my perspective, seems very conservative, so it's nice to see them kind of opening up and appealing to a more Western audience in that way. Yeah, I really like this album, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and yeah, I will be back soon. So yeah, bye for now.